Who is the best player you have played with or against in your career?
Sans hésitation, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo is R9.
Ronaldo the Fenómeno.
R9.
Brazilian Ronaldo.
Ronaldo Nazário.
Just tell the younger audience.
I mean, Ronaldo will always be for me on top there because I think Ronaldo took it to another level.
Before Messi, before Cristiano, before Mbappe, there was one man who made the world fall in love with football, a genius with the ball, a nightmare for defenders, and a story that had everything: glory, pain, redemption. This is the rise and fall of Ronaldo Nazário, football's greatest natural talent. Rio de Janeiro, September 22nd, 1976. A boy named Ronaldo Luis Nazário de Lima was born into poverty. From the favelas to the streets, his life was football. He didn't just play the game, he reinvented it. At 16, Ronaldo was already dazzling at Cruzeiro. At 17, he was part of Brazil's 1994 World Cup squad. And at 18, he moved to Europe, joining PSV Eindhoven. There, the world saw flashes of something extraordinary: unstoppable dribbles, blistering acceleration, goals that made defenders look like amateurs. By the time he was 20, the football world was already whispering, "This boy might be the greatest striker we will ever see." In 1996, Barcelona signed Ronaldo, and the world changed. That single season, 47 goals in 49 games, La Liga, Copa del Rey, European Cup, Winners' Cup. But it wasn't just the numbers, it was how he scored them. Defenders were left spinning, goalkeepers humiliated, fans stunned. He would pick up the ball at halfway, glide past 1, 2, 3 players, and finish with a thunderbolt. That season, Ronaldo became the youngest player ever to win the FIFA World Player of the Year, at just 20 years old. His Barcelona spell lasted just one season, but in that time, he left behind a legacy of brilliance and a reputation as football's new king. 1997, Ronaldo Nazário arrives in Italy. Inter Milan pay a then world record fee to sign the Brazilian wonder kid, and all eyes are on him. Serie A in the 1990s was unforgiving. It was the land of defensive giants: Maldini, Baresi, Nesta, Cannavaro. The league where strikers were suffocated, where goals came at a premium. But for Ronaldo, it didn't matter. He tore through defenses that had humbled legends, with explosive pace, with impossible dribbles, with a cold-blooded calm in front of goal. In his very first season, Ronaldo scored 34 goals in 47 games. He led Inter to the UEFA Cup final. Against Lazio, he produced one of his greatest performances, a dazzling display, capped with a goal that showcased everything about him: power, balance, precision. Inter lifted the trophy, and Ronaldo lifted his first piece of silverware in Italy. At 21 years old, he was crowned the youngest Ballon d'Or winner in history. The Italian press gave him a name: Il Fenomeno, the phenomenon. Fans and pundits agreed. No player had ever combined speed, strength, skill, and finishing in one package like Ronaldo. He wasn't just beating defenders, he was humiliating them. He would fake one way, then glide the other, leaving goalkeepers frozen. He was a cheat code, a video game character brought to life. Even rival fans would pay to see him play. When Inter visited away grounds, stadiums filled just to watch Ronaldo do the impossible. But then, tragedy. April 1999, Inter versus Lazio. Ronaldo goes down clutching his knee. The diagnosis: a ruptured tendon, months of recovery ahead. But the story was about to turn darker. April 2000, Coppa Italia. Ronaldo makes his comeback. The world is watching. 6 minutes in, disaster. His knee collapses again. The ligament is completely destroyed. The images were haunting. Ronaldo screaming in agony, his teammates in shock, the stadium in silence. Doctors feared he might never play football again. Some even said he might never walk properly again. For nearly 3 years, the football world was robbed of its brightest star. The boy who seemed destined to rewrite history now faced a fight just to play again. And yet, deep inside, Ronaldo never gave up. Through surgeries, through endless rehab sessions, through pain most of us cannot imagine, he kept going. He kept believing, because he knew his story wasn't finished. But even before the injuries, tragedy struck on the world stage. France, 1998, the World Cup final, Brazil versus France. The world expected Ronaldo to deliver, but hours before kickoff, chaos. Ronaldo suffered a mysterious seizure in the team hotel. He was rushed to hospital, only to return last minute to the starting lineup. On the field, he was a shadow of himself. Brazil lost 3-0. The world didn't just see a defeat, it saw the fall of a hero. Questions swirled. What really happened that night? Illness, pressure, politics, the truth remains uncertain. But one thing was clear, Ronaldo's moment of destiny had turned into heartbreak. 2002, Japan and South Korea. Ronaldo returns to the world stage. He hadn't played a full season in over 3 years. His knees were patched together by surgeries. His body was heavier. His pace reduced. And yet, there was something in his eyes, a fire, a determination, a hunger to prove everyone wrong. From the very first game, it was clear. Ronaldo was back. Against Turkey, he scored. Against China, he scored again. Against Costa Rica, he added 2 more. This wasn't the same Ronaldo of Barcelona and Inter. He wasn't gliding past 6 defenders anymore. But what he lost in speed, he replaced with intelligence. His movement, his positioning, his finishing. It was clinical, ruthless, lethal, into the knockouts. Against Belgium, he struck again. Against Turkey in the semi-final, another goal. And then, the final. Brazil versus Germany. Oliver Kahn, the best goalkeeper in the world. A man who hadn't conceded in the entire tournament until he met Ronaldo. 67th minute. Rivaldo shoots. Kahn spills it. Ronaldo pounces. Goal. 79th minute. Ronaldo again. A calm finish into the corner. The phenomenon had returned. Brazil lifted their 5th World Cup. Ronaldo scored 8 goals, winning the Golden Boot. And the world wept with joy. The boy who had fallen in 98, the man who was broken in 99 and 2000, was now a champion once more. And beyond the goals, there was the symbol, that haircut, the little triangle at the front. It became iconic. Children around the world copied it. For Ronaldo, it was a distraction, so the media wouldn't focus on his injuries. For fans, it became part of his legend. The 2002 World Cup wasn't just a victory. It was redemption. It was proof that even the cruelest setbacks cannot break true greatness. From the favelas to the World Cup podium, from agony to ecstasy, Ronaldo Nazario's 2002 triumph stands as one of the greatest comebacks in sports history, because greatness is not just about what you achieve, it's about what you overcome. And no one overcame more than Ronaldo. 2002, the World Cup was over. Ronaldo had silenced every critic and written one of the greatest redemption stories in history. But his journey wasn't finished. Florentino Perez, president of Real Madrid, had a vision. A team of superstars. Figo, Zidane, Beckham, Roberto Carlos, and now Ronaldo Nazário, the Galacticos, a collection of football's brightest names. But among them, Ronaldo was the crown jewel. September 2002, Ronaldo's debut at the Bernabeu. The anticipation was electric, and within just a few minutes on the pitch, he scored. A thunderous strike. The stadium erupted. The phenomenon had arrived in Spain. Even though injuries had changed him, Ronaldo was still a predator. He no longer glided past 5 or 6 defenders at once, but he didn't need to. Now, he adapted. 1 touch, 2 touches. Finish. He was clinical, ruthless. Every half chance became a goal. Across his first season, Ronaldo scored 30 goals. He helped Madrid win La Liga, and in 2002, he was awarded the Ballon d'Or again, 4 years after doctors thought he might never play again. But it wasn't just about the trophies. Ronaldo gave the world unforgettable nights, none more iconic than Old Trafford, April 2003, Champions League quarter-final, Real Madrid versus Manchester United. Ronaldo scores once, then twice, then 3 times, a hat trick. In enemy territory, the Manchester crowd rose to their feet, applauding a rival, applauding greatness. It was one of the rarest moments in football, a standing ovation for pure genius. Between 2002 and 2006, Ronaldo scored over 100 goals for Real Madrid. He was the face of the Galactico era. Alongside Zidane, Beckham, Figo, and Roberto Carlos, he brought glamour back to football. But while the goals came, the silverware didn't always follow. The Galacticos were dazzling to watch, but sometimes fragile in battle, La Liga titles, but no Champions League glory. For a player like Ronaldo, who had once carried Inter and Brazil, it was bittersweet. And slowly, the injuries began to creep back in. Ronaldo's knees had given him one miracle comeback, but his body was not the same. He put on weight, he lost some of his speed. Critics began to question his professionalism. Pundits called him lazy, but those who knew him knew the truth. Ronaldo wasn't lazy. He was simply fighting battles. His body would not let him win. Yet even in decline, he was capable of brilliance, moments of magic. That reminded the world of who he was. A sudden burst of speed, a lethal finish, a smile that lit up the Bernabeu, because Ronaldo Nazário, even at 70%, was still better than almost anyone else on the planet. By 2006, Madrid was moving in a new direction, younger players, a fresh start, and so Ronaldo's Galactico era came to a close. But those 4 years gave the world joy. They gave fans memories they would never forget. They gave Ronaldo the chance to prove that even after 2 career-ending injuries, he could still stand among the very best. Ronaldo's time at Real Madrid was not perfect. It wasn't filled with Champions League trophies or dynasty domination, but it was proof that even a broken body could not silence pure genius. Proof that talent at its highest level will always shine through, and proof that the phenomenon could never truly be stopped. But time and injuries take their toll. By the late 2000s, Ronaldo's body could no longer keep up. His knees battered, his weight criticized. He left Madrid, joined AC Milan, then Corinthians. In 2011, the phenomenon announced his retirement. The football world mourned the end of an era, but his legacy? Unquestionable. 2 Ballon d'Ors, 2 World Cups, over 400 career goals, and above all, the love of fans everywhere. Ask any defender of the 90s or 2000s, and they'll tell you, Ronaldo Nazário was the greatest striker they ever faced. Ronaldo Nazário's story is one of brilliance and heartbreak. A rise so quick, it stunned the world. A fall so tragic, it broke hearts. And a redemption so powerful, it sealed his immortality. He was football's purest talent, the striker who could do it all. And even though injuries stole much of his career, in the moments he was healthy, he was simply unstoppable. This was the rise and fall of Ronaldo Nazário, the greatest natural talent football has ever seen.